Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Bookie Bashing. Week 14 NFL season coming at you. Very excited to get at you with these picks. It's been very hot around here at Bookie Bashing, of course. Very excited to get at you with these picks. I'm your host, Anthony Nikki Jr. As always, my gambling experts here. Ace, how you feeling after that great holiday weekend?
I'm loving life right now, Tony. Almost 2 months without a losing week. How could you not feel great? These bank accounts are huge. My pockets are overflowing, it feels like.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been 7 straight weeks since we've had a loser. Joey Staxxx, I know how good we're doing based on how fresh you come in here. You've been looking fresh last couple of weeks. How you feeling?
Yeah, feeling fresh, looking fresh as always. They're calling me the Dapper Don nowadays. But we're winning. We're rolling. We're going to keep on rolling, so keep on riding, baby, because we got a lot more money coming your way.
Yeah, it's been hot as hell around here at Bookie Bash. The NFL total season record, 43-24. We've been very hot around here. It's been 7 straight weeks. You haven't had a loser. Last weekend, Thanksgiving Day, we had the special. 3-0 for you. Came back with a 3-2 winning Sunday. 6-2 overall on the weekend. It's been hot around here at Bookie Bashing. We've been telling you, this thing is a marathon. It's not a sprint. Every week we continue to build on this record. If you've been waiting around, stop waiting, because we're getting down to the end of the season here. Last quarter of the NFL regular season, and then, of course, playoff action coming at you. A lot of people have been asking, Tony, when's the basketball coming out? When are you going to hit us with this basketball plays? Of course, I tell you, you got to start to feel it out a little bit. Basketball's a sport. You got to see how these teams are gelling, but book it. Christmas Day, December 25th. Again, Christmas Day, December 25th. Joey Staxxx going to come at you with the first NBA action of the year and start off winning in that category. As for me, college basketball just around the corner. Going to wait for the new year, but when that new year comes, we're going to start smacking you there. But let's not waste any more time. We love this Week 14 card. Before basketball gets there, let's keep building your back rolls in the NFL. Let's start them off at the top. Week 14 NFL season.
Pittsburgh at Cincinnati.
Opening up this Week 14 NFL card, going to continue to build on our great total record this year, of course. Hitting it over 90% so far on totals. Going to head to Cincinnati, where the Pittsburgh Steelers come in. Take that one to cruise over the posted total of 47 here. Bengals come in having gone over in 12 of their last 16 home games. And they're coming back after 3 straight road victories. I think that sparks Andy Dalton and this offense here, as they're going to be playing in front of that home crowd for the first time in about a month. A.J. Green, a big game. Mohamed Sanu, a lot of love. I think he even gets some love out of Jermaine Gresham up the seam here. Bengals here, they're a tough team to stop, and if there's one thing Pittsburgh's shown us, they can't stop anything so far this season on defense. They just gave up 35 points last week to a Saints team that doesn't score anywhere on the road. Having said that, over the last 6 weeks, despite one game having put up 13 points against the Jets, the Steelers have scored 32, 27, 43, 51, and 30 points. This is a high-powered offense. Ben Roethlisberger's revived his career this year, and with weapons like Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell at running back, you've got 2 top 3 players at their respective positions on this offense. It's just too much. These Steelers score a lot of points. Pittsburgh has gone over in 5 of the last 6 games overall and 6 of 7 following a straight-up loss. It's just telling me there's going to be points to be scored in this game. I think Cincinnati comes back home, scores some points early, but Pittsburgh needs this game. This is a huge game for the playoff implications in the NFC North, and there's no way it doesn't become a high-scoring game in this one. Vegas sets this over-under at 47 here. It's the highest over-under between these two teams in over 10 years, because Vegas knows these are 2 offenses. It's not your typical Steelers-Bengals matchup with hard-nosed defense, pounding the football, running the ball. This is 2 teams that like to throw the ball around. They can score some points. Take this one to cruise over 47 to open up this Week 14.
Exactly what Tony said there. This is not the 2 teams that you're used to in years past that are playing that tough D, really running the ball, pounding the ball all game, controlling the clock. No, these guys are airing the ball out. Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers are airing the ball out like I've never seen them do it before. They got the guys there to put up points, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Cincinnati Bengals, A.J. Green's coming back to life. It looks like he's picking back up right where he left off. And, the other cast of characters they got there that are very capable of putting up points. Andy Dalton back at home. And that over is set at 47, a little higher than we're used to seeing. And that's based off of public perception, what we've seen in years past. These are 2 different teams, and the public may not know that. So that's the reasoning for that 47. I just think it's going to be a recipe for a little bit of a shootout.
Guys, the Pittsburgh Steelers offense over the last 5 games is averaging over 33 points a game. And it really shows when you look at the statistical leaders in the NFL. Ben Roethlisberger is the 4th leading passer in the NFL. He gets to throw to the number 1 leading receiver in the NFL in Antonio Brown. And, oh yeah, he has the 2nd leading rusher in the NFL in Le'Veon Bell also. This offense can definitely score with the best of them. But the thing is, they need to because the defense does not stop anyone. over that same 5-game span, the Pittsburgh Steelers defense is averaging giving up over 27 points a game. This just shows that when they go up against an offense who not only has one of the top-notch receivers in A.J. Green, but also has a really nice running back duo in Jeremy Hill and Gio Bernard, I think that Andy Dalton's going to be able to manage the game enough to get a decent amount of points on the board for them. And like I said, the Pittsburgh Steelers offense is guaranteed to get points for us, folks. It's only a matter of how many points these teams are going to score, so roll the over, folks.
Yeah, I really love this one to turn into a little bit of a slugfest. It'll be a fun game to watch this Sunday here. Big game standing-wise in the NFC North. Take this one to cruise over 47, 28-27 final. Pittsburgh pulls it out in the end.
Houston at Jacksonville.
For the second consecutive week, going to head out to Jacksonville and take these Jaguars as a home underdog, getting 6 in this one as AFC South division rival Houston comes in. Gotta love the value here as this Jaguars team starting to come around a little bit. I'm by no means going to call them a good team, but I am going to tell you that getting 6 at home versus a 500 team is just great value to take anywhere. Last week, we told you to take the Jags +3 against the Giants. People told us we were crazy. We got you an outright victory. I think the same kind of thing happens this Sunday. Blake Bortles is starting to prove himself a little bit. I know he's not putting up great numbers, but he manages the game well. He doesn't make the huge mistake, and he keeps Jacksonville in it. Last week, the defense, after coming out horribly to start the game, they shut down these Giants for the rest of the afternoon, holding them, forcing them to punt, and we got that 25-24 victory. Houston comes in here having gone 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 versus the AFC South. They struggle against the division. They struggle in big games. They also struggle with consistency. The Texans are 2-9 against the spread in their last 11 games following a straight-up win. Last week, everything was clicking for the Texans at home against Tennessee. Ryan Fitzpatrick had one of the best games of his NFL career at quarterback. Not a chance in hell he's going to give that to you 2 Sundays in a row. Fitzpatrick's not consistent. I think he's a backup at best in the NFL, and there's just no way he puts up big numbers like that on the road away from the friendly confines of that home dome. On the defensive side of the ball, when you take J.J. Watt out of the picture, which is a hard thing to do because he's the best defender in the game, Houston can give up big points at other spots of the field. Jadeveon Clowney just had season-ending knee surgery. He's unavailable. I think that Denard Robinson going to find some holes, going to have a nice game running the ball for Jacksonville. Not necessarily going to say they're going to dominate. I think it's going to be a tough game, just like we said last Sunday, but so much value getting 6 at home for a division rivalry game. I think Gus Bradley has this young team still playing hard at the end of the year. Take these Jaguars to get the job done at home versus Houston.
Yeah, love the fact that we get the Jaguars getting 6 here at home. It's a much improved Jaguars team. They showed us that last week, coming up with an outright win over the Giants. Blake Bortles has been managing a good game, spreading the ball out to his young receivers. I really like the direction this team is going. And on the other side of the football, we have the Houston Texans team, who just had a big game last week. Ryan Fitzpatrick had a career week, and the public just jumps right on him as they're 75% on the Houston Texans this week. Very inconsistent team. Ryan Fitzpatrick, not a starting quarterback. The guy makes a lot of mistakes, and I think we're going to see some of them this week. I really like the fact that we get the 6 points at home. That's a great value there. We're going to go ahead and roll these Jacksonville Jaguars, and I think they're going to beat them outright.
I totally agree that getting 6 points with the Jacksonville Jaguars this Sunday is a great value play. If you look at the last 3 matchups that these teams played, not only have the Jags covered all 3, but they've won 2 of them and brought the other one to overtime. This Jaguars team kind of reminds me of a poor man's Rams team. They really grind on you. They're going to try and beat you on the special teams, not make as many penalties, really just make you make the mistake, and before you know it, you're in an ugly slugfest, and the Jaguars have a chance to win this game. And I think that's what's going to happen this Sunday. Blake Bortles, while he hasn't been outstanding this rookie season, has definitely been improving, and he's shown to be more comfortable at home as the whole offense has been putting up more points when they're at home. He's not the only one that's been improving on this offense either. Not only do they have a young offensive line that's been getting better, but their skill players have really improved since week 1. I think that's where the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be able to take advantage of the Houston Texans. Coming off of a huge win, they are going to be a one-man show this Sunday with J.J. Watt. And I don't think that you can stop J.J. Watt, but you definitely can slow him down a bit. And I think somehow, some way, Gus Bradley draws up a way for them to slow down J.J. Watt, at least enough for us to get in a field goal game and maybe even pull out a win here. So take a great value play in the Jacksonville Jaguars this Sunday.
Yeah, these Texans are a 500 football team. No way they should be laying 6 on the road anywhere, especially in a division rivalry game. Jacksonville beat them at home last year. I think they do it again this Sunday. Take these Jags here, plus the 6, 24-23 outright winner.
New York at Tennessee.
Hit it over 90% on total plays so far this year. Going to continue to trend upwards in that category here. As we are going to head to Tennessee. Giants coming in over 45 in this one. I think this one cruises over here. Two bad teams, but two teams that do go over. They give up points on defense. They can score a little bit of points on offense. Giants come in having gone over in 5 of their last 6 games overall and 5 of 6 games on the road. Eli Manning has the ability to put up points. He has a great weapon on the outside, and Odell Beckham Jr. that I think is going to have a huge game on Sunday. And really, these Giants, although Manning has some big interceptions, they do throw touchdown passes. We know they're going to sling the ball around and get their share of points. On defense, they've been shredded by injuries. The secondary is completely different than it was to start this season, and I think they're going to give up some big points on Sunday as Jake Locker going to get a start for Tennessee. This guy, it's a huge game for him. He has to prove himself here, or he may never have another shot to start in the NFL. I think he comes out and has a big game on Sunday. Tennessee has gone over in 9 of their last 12 home games and 4 of their last 5 games overall. Again, not a great offense, but on defense, they give up big plays more than anybody. I see that secondary getting shredded time after time throughout the season. Look what Houston just did to him last Sunday. They scored 45 points as Ryan Fitzpatrick had a career day. Two bad teams here, but they're specifically bad on defense. I think the Giants come in, they're going to score some points. Jake Locker keeps up with them. Take this one to cruise over that posted total of 45.
Folks, these defenses absolutely stink. And I truly mean that. Getting torched by the deep ball consistently and really not wrapping up at all. And most people might be surprised that over the last 5 games, these defenses are even worse than they were before. The Giants are averaging giving up 26 points this season. Over the last 5 games, they're averaging 30 points a game. The Titans defense, on the other hand, is averaging giving up 28 points a game. Over the last 5 games, 33 points a game. Folks, the Titans defense was so bad last week, they gave up 6 passing touchdowns. Not to Tom Brady, not to Peyton Manning. We're talking about Ryan Fitzpatrick, a Harvard man, a man whose IQ is usually higher than his passer rating. But yet he was able to torch this secondary to have himself a career day. Now maybe it gets a little better. Maybe they get a turnover or 2 from Eli Manning. But the thing is, that usually results in points. The Giants give up turnovers deep in their own territory. Jake Locker, who's a lot more mobile than Zach Mettenberg, is going to be able to take advantage of a defense who's pretty undisciplined and has problems covering guys for an extended period of time. I don't see the Giants being able to get a consistent pass rush on them, and I really think both teams are not going to be able to be stopped unless it's a turnover, which should result in points for the other team. I love this over, folks. I think it's a great value play, so just ride the over.
Yeah, 2 weak defenses here, guys, and the offenses are going to be able to exploit that. We got Jake Locker back for Tennessee. He's got his man, Delaney Walker, who he loves to hook up with, and he may have a big day here. On the other side of the ball, Eli Manning has his new breakout stud, Odell Beckham. I really think he's going to have a day as well. I really can't see these defenses holding it. I think we're going to be easily into the 20s, possibly the 30s, and I really can't see this game staying under here in Tennessee. We got a public split, 50-50, and we got a nice low over-under, so we're going to ride it over to that 45.
Yeah, love what Staxxx said there. Is the public's pretty split here on this over-under. They're thinking 2 bad teams. You're going to get no points here, but actually you're going to get 2 bad teams that can't stop one another. Take the Giants and the Titans here to cruise over that posted total of 45. Giants ultimately get the win, 33-27 final.
New England at San Diego.
Coming at you prime time, Sunday night football with little New England Patriots action here. Going to lay the 3.5 points in San Diego. As always, play it smart. Buy the hook down. Don't get beat by the field goal. Going to take this thing down to 3, but we think New England will have no problem with a big road victory as they continue their quest to the best record in the AFC. Disappointing game last week for these Patriots. Tom Brady and company held to 21 points on the road in Green Bay. Very tough game, but the defense showed up a little bit. I was pretty impressed that they held Aaron Rodgers and company only to 26 points. Prior to that game, they had won 6 consecutive games, and they have been very hot. They've looked great on offense, looked great on defense. New England now comes in 35-15-1 against the spread in the last 51 games following a straight-up loss. This is a tough team to beat twice in a row. As when I think of consistency, I think of Bill Belichick, I think of Tom Brady. He's found weapons on this offense. Gronkowski finally back to his old form. I get Brandon LaFell on the outside, who's been a huge weapon for Tom Brady, and I like the duo of LeGarrette Blount pounding the football and Shane Vereen with the great hands out of the backfield. San Diego comes in a little bit hot, and we're getting great value there as they had 3 consecutive victories, but last week was ugly in Baltimore. They were down by 10 with 4 minutes to play. Although they came back, they were outplayed the entire game, and I think they're going to struggle here against Tom Brady and company, who are on a mission for a victory. San Diego, 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 games overall, 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 versus the AFC. They've struggled against their own division, and they've struggled to beat the good teams. It's been Phillip Rivers' story his entire career in San Diego. I think they're just in a bad spot here as New England really wants a win. They want that home field advantage. Trust me, folks. That is all Bill Belichick and Tom Brady are thinking about. Get that home field to make the path easier to get to the Super Bowl. They're going to show up here, and they're just going to be too tough, too talented for San Diego to keep up with. Take the Patriots on prime time to get the job done and give us a big victory on the road.
When you look at the season averages for both these teams, I really like the Patriots, as both defenses are only giving up about 21 points a game, and New England's offense is averaging over 8 points more than the Chargers' offense is. But where I really love this game, guys, where I really feel that this game is a lock, is when you look at the team's averages for the last 5 games, because New England's offense is as good as any, averaging over 38 points a game, and now they get to go up against a San Diego defense that over that same span is giving up 27 points a game. They're not playing well, guys, and the Golden Boy is really going to be able to take advantage of a San Diego defense. Now, when you flip it around and look at San Diego's offense against New England's defense, they match up identical, as San Diego is getting 19 points a game, and the Patriots are only allowing 19 points a game. This is a Patriots defense that has a tremendous secondary, and that starts with their 2 stud cornerbacks, who just absolutely dominate your top offensive weapons. And that's what's going to happen for San Diego, who already lacks big-time skill players. I just love the Patriots this weekend in a primetime stage to prove that they are at the top of the AFC. And I am not worried about laying the field goal on the road, because I think the Patriots are just going to cruise throughout this entire game.
Yeah, we're only having to lay 3 here because we're on the road, and that's just fine with me because this is a much better team in the New England Patriots. Mr. Primetime Tom Brady, who has looked phenomenal this year, really working well with his guys, Brandon LaFell. Gronkowski's back and seems very healthy. There's no way a very mediocre San Diego Charger defense is going to be able to stop these guys on Sunday. The running game has been looking great too, and they add LeGarrette Blount back, who's been pounding that football for him. You mix in some Gray, who's shown signs of greatness, and you got a totally complete team. The defense looks absolutely phenomenal, like Tony was mentioning. I really like this New England team as a complete team to get the job done and get that number 1 seed. Phillip Rivers and crew, a better season this year, but still not a playoff caliber, championship caliber team. So we're going to take these New England Patriots to get a big win here on Sunday night.
Yeah, love Bill Belichick, love Tom Brady coming off of a loss here. So much pride in New England. They do the little things right. They win the big games. On the other side, San Diego loses the big games. And it's just one of those spots where I think the Chargers are going to struggle on primetime Sunday night. Take these Patriots here. Buy the hook down, play it smart as always. Going to lay the field goal -3. Patriots win 31-23 final.
Atlanta at Green Bay.
Finishing off this Week 14 card on Monday night primetime. Heading out to Lambeau. Going to roll these Packers here. We're minus the 13 points. They have no problem beating up on a bad Atlanta Falcons team in this one. Take the Packers to cruise on primetime. Aaron Rodgers and company, very focused. They've won 8 of 9 games. They just looked great last week against the New England Patriots. How about this defense? Slowing down Tom Brady and company in that huge game. Now Matt Ryan comes in. And this is not the same team in Atlanta on the road as they are at home. I think this Green Bay defense is going to have a little bit of a field day in this one. Get some big turnovers here, as these Falcons are just not a very good team on the road. They have not covered in 5 of their last 6 road games, and now they head to Lambeau Field, where Aaron Rodgers, I think, is going to have a field day. The weapons for this Green Bay Packers are just unstoppable. You don't know if it's going to be Randall Cobb or Jordy Nelson from week to week, or it could even be both of them. I got Eddie Lacy pounding the football, great hands out of the backfield. I mean, this Packers offense is extremely tough to stop, and Atlanta, not known for a great defense, as they give up points, they give up a lot of yards. They're coming off of 2 good road wins against Carolina and Tampa Bay, but they squeaked those games out. That is not going to work against a Green Bay squad that just does the job at Lambeau. Green Bay comes in having covered in 33 of their last 51 home games. 7 of 9 covers overall. They're very hot right now. They're clicking on all its cylinders. Just like the Patriots, Green Bay wants this Super Bowl to have to go through Lambeau Field. They are fighting to catch the Cardinals, to push away from Seattle and the Eagles, and to get that home field advantage. They think it's very important, and obviously it is important come playoff time. Atlanta, on the other hand, 5-7. They're trying to win a extremely weak NFC South. I don't think it happens. I think the Saints are going to ultimately catch them. They come back down to reality on this Monday night, and they get lit up against Green Bay. Take the Pack here by 13 easily.
Yeah, guys, it feels a little uneasy laying this many points in a primetime stage, but that's just how much of a lock the Packers are. When you break down the numbers, the Packers not only gain more yards, but they also allow less yards. Besides that, they control the clock so much better than these up and down Falcons do. Now, when you focus in on these Atlanta Falcons when they're on the road, the offense really is not the same. They get almost a touchdown less per game when they're on the road. And now they're going up against Green Bay defense that's much better when they're at home, only allowing 17 points a game. The Green Bay offense, on the other hand, gets over 40 points when they're at home. The Packers have won by 21 points or more in every single home game, other than that Patriots game, since week 2 against the Jets. It's a team that just feels amazing when they're at home, and they have the whole town of Green Bay in the stands cheering them on. And guess what, guys? I don't know if you saw this, but there's a decent chance of snow Sunday night going into Monday in Green Bay. And it's definitely going to be cold, and it's definitely going to be affecting the Falcons a lot more than these Packers. When it's all said and done, Green Bay Packers not only get more yards than the Falcons, they allow less yards than the Falcons and have a bigger time of possession. So this one's just going to push Team Bookie bashing to 5-0 this week as we chant, "Go Pack, go."
Go Pack Go. Aaron Rodgers is wearing the belt. These Packers are absolutely rolling. Just beat a very tough New England Patriot team who has also been on an absolute tear. Aaron Rodgers is totally focused in. He's hungry. I say it every time we pick him. These receivers, they have a great connection. They're all on the same page. They're in mid-season form. This is a championship caliber team. The defense at home has been phenomenal as well. I love what they got going on in Green Bay. This is a championship team. They may make a Super Bowl appearance. I wouldn't be shocked in the least bit if they did. And they're going up against a Falcons team who has a absolutely horrible defense. Aaron Rodgers is licking his chops already. He can't wait till Monday night to get himself possibly a career day. The Atlanta Falcons can score some points. The ball is going to be aired out, but at the end of the day, these Packers are going to run away with it, and they're going to win by a lot of points. It's going to get ugly in Green Bay. Roll with the Packers.
Yeah, love this Monday night primetime card here as we're laying the 13 in Green Bay. I think they're going to cruise easily by more than 20 in this. One of those games that I think by halftime we're going to be looking at this Week 15 card already comfortable having this win in the bag. Take Aaron Rodgers and company. Packers been so hot. They continue to dominate the NFC. 41-13 final. So that will wrap things up for this Week 14 card. We love these picks as we are going to continue to stay hot at Bookie Bashing, giving you 5 winners this Sunday. Of course, we've been very hot around here. It's been 7 straight weeks since you've seen a loser. Going to make it an even 2 months this weekend with these 5 picks. Last week, it was awesome. Hope you enjoyed the Thanksgiving with your family, and you made money as we had a 3-0 sweep on the holiday itself, followed by a 3-2 Sunday, making for a 6-2 overall Week 13. 43-24 on the season, continuing to build on that record as we're hitting it just over 65%. Picking winners here at Bookie Bashing. And continuing to do that, we love these 5 Week 14 games. Starting things off with a total play. We've been hitting at over 90% on totals so far this season. Head out to Cincinnati for the big division matchup versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're going to cruise over that posted total of 47 as Pittsburgh gives us an outright victory. 28-27 final. Then we head to Jacksonville for the second consecutive week, taking the home dog. Plus the 6 points, they're going to give us another outright winner versus division rival Houston as they cruise 24-23 final. Another total play in Tennessee. New York Giants head in. I think we get a big game out of Eli Manning, big game out of Jake Locker. Public split on that over as they think 2 bad teams play bad football, don't score many points, but it's going to be 2 bad teams that can't stop one another. Giants ultimately get the 33-27 victory. Prime time, Sunday night. Tom Brady, Bill Belichick coming off of a loss. Love that value there. Laying the 3.5, playing smart as always. Buy the hook down, make it a field goal as they cruise against the San Diego team. As Phillip Rivers and company doesn't win the big game, doesn't show up on prime time. New England, 31-23 final. And then Monday night prime time, another huge home victory here is the Green Bay Packers laying 13 against an Atlanta Falcons squad that is trying to sneak into the playoffs, so they're only 5-7 overall, but they are just bad on the road, and they're going to be brought back to reality against a great Green Bay squad. Aaron Rodgers is going to have a huge Monday night, take them to cruise and continue to make a run for the best record in the NFC. Green Bay 41-13 final as they rout Atlanta. Love these 5 games this Sunday. Going to continue to build on that great record of 43-24 overall. As we say, this thing is a marathon. It's not a sprint. If you've been waiting around, get on board. We're at that last quarter of the NFL season. They're going to come in with our NFL playoff run, continue to make you money. I know you've been asking about basketball. We've booked you the date, Christmas Day, December 25th. Bringing the holiday season the right way. Is come here, listen to Bookie Bashing. Joey Staxxx will start off his NBA season on the holiday, and then you'll hear me coming in for the new year with college basketball players. We'd like to get a feel for these basketball squads, see what teams gel together before we start picking them, but those winners are just around the corner, so make sure you stay tuned here as we continue to build on this great season. For my gambling colleagues, my experts, Mr. Ace Berg and Mr. Joey Staxxx, I am your host, Anthony Nikki Jr., telling you as always, have a great weekend, continue to check in here for more winners, and we will see you next time at www.bookiebashingats.com.